Hey, welcome back to MyATMM.com, cost basis tracking built for option sellers. Go ahead and review the disclaimer on screen, and let's get right to it. Welcome back, everybody. Here we are sitting on the web application MyATMM.com, and today I wanted to talk to you about some new features that we've been working on. We've been working on some trading bots and back testing them and getting lots of information, and we found a few that are actually working really well over the backtest data. So we've implemented them and actually been using them for the past month or two. And so now I'm just going to be sharing how I track the transactions in the web application and also showing you the high level information for the bots because we are offering up the information, the details for them as well. So let's go over to the website. And here I am logged in. I'm sitting on the dashboard. And first things first, before I get to the details of the bots, I wanted to go ahead and show you where we're importing the transactions for one of them for the week that I have setting underneath this primary account. So let's come over to the import export underneath the tools menu. We will be using the AI import. And what we need to do right now is go over to ThinkorSwim to export those transactions. Here we are logged into ThinkorSwim, and I have my account statement tab selected. And we're going back the past couple weeks because it's been a little while since I've tracked some transactions. So these are all the transactions that the bot has been running over the past week or two. And we want to export that to a file. And now we need to go and import that. So we need to go back over to the web application. Okay, here we are back on the web application. And what we want to do is that export that file that we just exported. We want to drag and drop it right here, and it'll pre-parse it. And we click parse, and that'll parse all the information out of that export. And as you can see, we did go back a couple weeks, and it looks like there is some overlap in there, which is fine. We can go ahead and click here, view import details, to look at the details of those and see here's all the XSP transactions that it's imported. And you can see like the last four are duplicates. So we can either individually delete them. I'll go ahead and do one so I can show you what it does. Right. So we can go ahead and delete that. And you'll notice this went down to 3 from 4. So we only have 3 dupes left. If I don't want to do them individually, I can click this button and just bulk delete them, and that'll delete those 4 out of there for us. So now we have cleaned up all the duplicates. And now we have just the remaining information. Okay. Okay. So now that the export has been imported, or the transactions have been imported in the system, what we want to do is look at our strategy summary to look at the history of these XSP options that we've been trading. So we click on strategy summary, and you can see this is showing just the last 30 days. And you can see them listed. We're doing like one a day on all of these. And you can see the profit and loss and the number of transactions, the costs that were associated to each one, and any risk that is able to be ascertained, because it looks like we have run some risk profiles on these. And if you saw the previous risk profile video, you'll know what that's about. It's basically where you can watch it just like a thinkorswim risk profile, and you can watch it in real time and watch all the positions, you know, over time, and see where your risk is and where your profit is and stuff like that. So anyway, all right. That gives you a good high level overview, and it shows you basically the process. I do this weekly. At the end of the week, I'll import all the transactions into the system, and this is where it tracks them. And then you can go back to the dashboard and see the higher level and group these up by week. Like, see, this is showing each day, the 14th, 13th. So if you go over to the dashboard, you can see it by the week. And so let's go ahead and do that. I'll show you where that's at over here in performance. And this is grouping by weeks. So you can see for week 33, 14th, it looks like we collected 176 in premium. And that's 5.71% of the balance in this account, or the net working capital, I should say. And then you can see the previous weeks. And there's been lots of different things we've been messing around with. So the bots are newish in this account. All right. So next thing I want to show you is the actual trading bots themselves, or rather the information for them. So now, when you log into your account, you'll see this new trading bots section. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. All right, let's click on trading bots. And when you come over here, this is the initial page that you'll first learn about, or see, I should say. And it gives a lot of information here. It covers our philosophy. Basically, the gist of these bots is we risk a small amount each time to make a small amount each time. And this is small account friendly. And that kind of ties into the fact that the PDT rule has been removed. If it wasn't for that, if you're running daily bots that were doing day trades basically on zero DTE option spreads, then you'd have to have $25,000 in each account. But with the PDT being removed, now I can have, like, in this case, we have 5 different accounts with only like $1,000 or $2,000 in each account. And I can run a bot on each one of those doing different XSP option strategies on each one. Why XSP? Well, because it's a lot cheaper and a lot less to risk for about the same amount for ROI return on it. So we basically have a small risk, roughly a 1-to-1 payoff. So you're never risking, a bunch of money. A lot of like right here, this will describe this. A lot of people trade far out of the money credit spreads, and they're risking like $500 to $1,000 to only make 30 or 80 bucks. And these bots are only risking about 50 to make 50. So it's far superior in my opinion, because you're not risking near as much. And the win rate is actually still really high, as you'll see further down. But yeah, and this is talking about the PDTs gone, so you can actually have several small accounts and do day trades in all of them. So it's actually a game changer, if you ask me, that we're able to do this now. All right, so let me go and just collapse this. And these are the bots that we have. We have an ATM put spread, Lockstep, EMA cross, the opening range breakout, and EMA open. And the transactions that we imported today are for this Lockstep one. So I'll be focusing on that one for today's video. And so basically it just reads the early session trend and the candle structure, and then it will sell a defined risk XSP 0 DTE credit spread in the direction of the signal. And it has a resting profit target. So we basically place the order, and then it places a take profit order that just sits there throughout the day. And when it hits, if it hits, it'll execute it and you're good to go. And as you can see, our back test results right here. And what we did is we back tested real option historical quotes from June 2022 to July 2026. Why did we not go back further than that? Well, June 2022 is around the time that daily options started for XSP. So that's as far back as we could go. So using that data, so that's about 4 years of data that it has, running one contract, that was the P&L at the end. And the win rate was 77.1. And yeah, if you hover over these, it'll show you that was 496 wins, 147 losses. And the ROI average was 40% on the risk on the capital that we put up. So the average wins were 37.36 and the average loss was 43.68. And as you can see, the max drawdown in this thing was only $278. It was profitable all of those years. 92% of the months were green, and it looks like it traded about 3 times a week. And even better than that, we have the equity curve right here. If you click this button, it'll pop up the equity curve for you. And you can see starting way back here, and it just grows over time. And you can see there were some drawdowns, just like it said, but overall it's going up. So that's pretty impressive. And this is just doing one contract every single time for the entire 4 years. So that's only doing one contract. So at the end, you would have that, whatever, the 14,000 or whatever it is. I also have a toggle in here. So if you wanted to run like one contract per $1,000 that you had in the account, so over time, as it grew to 2,000, it'd start running 2 contracts, 3,000, it'd start running 3 contracts, and it would go all the way up to 100 contracts max running at a time, because going above 100, is probably unrealistic. And I didn't want it to, because if you do that, if you keep on going with this thing, it'll be trading like thousands and thousands of contracts at a time, and the number gets crazy, which is just unrealistic. 100 is pretty high in my opinion. 50 is probably not unrealistic at all. 100 is, I think, pushing the envelope a little bit. But anyway, if we were to do that, one per $1,000, so we were to scale it over time, as you can see, it almost starts going parabolic here, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's setting at close to 800 grand or so, 763. And you can see it's running 100 contracts. I put the number of contracts in there. So where does it start creeping up from over 100? Well, at $100,000, right? So this is still 200,000. So we're still only running 100. But so look at this. It starts running 100 contracts right around here. 2024-5-3. So it starts at, so that's about 2 years into it. About 2 years into it, it starts running 100 contracts, to just give you some kind of idea about how the scaling starts working. Here, you can see it's running 30 contracts back here. But anyway, you can come in here and play with this. This is all freely available for you. Now, if you wanted to get the details of it, the entry rules, the exit rules, the risk profile itself, and how you would actually set these things up, we do have that behind a paywall. This account has all of them unlocked, so I'm not going to be clicking that, but that is available to you if you want to know the nitty-gritty details to start running these yourself. But in any case, that is the Lockstep bot, and I'm going to be covering the rest of these in the upcoming weeks and going over the transaction import process too as well, because that's pretty important. I think the cool thing, actually, you don't have access to the AI import on the free account. You can import the transactions yourself manually, like you can come over to cost basis and go to XSP, and you can import or add the transactions right here yourself and track it all yourself. Or you can get just the basic standard account membership, and then I believe you would have access to the AI import, and you can drag and drop that file and use the automated import system for that. But anyway, that's all I wanted to discuss today. Talk to you in the next one. That's going to wrap it up for this one. If you got something out of it, hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next. And if you haven't already, head over to MyATMM.com and create your free account. 3 tickers free forever. No credit card required. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.